People often ask me, I'm moving to Costa Rica. Do I really need to learn Spanish? Well, that's not an easy answer. It really depends on what part of the country you're moving to. For the area we live in, Tamarindo, there's a high percentage of expats as well as a large tourist community. So many of the locals speak English, they're bilingual, and so they speak English and Spanish. But that doesn't excuse your need to learn the national language. In all honesty, you should learn Spanish before you come, or at least while you're here. So I'm going to provide some links down below to some options for learning Spanish. Personally, I use Duolingo. This is a free app that you can download. It doesn't cost anything. It has some great exercises. I'm able to take it most places. However, one of the downfalls is you do need an internet connection to be able to use the program. So in order to practice and to be able to keep up with my lessons, I do need to have internet connection. So that is one of the weaknesses. It also lacks the one-on-one tutorial type teaching, to where you would have someone correcting you or working with you through the process. So those are kind of the weaknesses, but I think overall it is a great application. It does a great job. As long as I practice with the locals and others that speak Spanish, I do okay, and I'm progressing pretty well. There are some other options where you are able to do live training with a live person, and those are optimal for people who really struggle with online applications or those type of learning. So we'll include some of those down below. The other option is you can do Spanish lessons with a certified tutor or just a person who speaks Spanish. Now, my neighbor actually takes Spanish lessons from a local, and they charge about $15 an hour for their lessons. They are very personalized, one-on-one, very conversational, and they're doing a great job with those. It's not free, but it is a great one-on-one lessons, as well as she's learning Spanish that is very applicable to the area, things that she's going to use that she needs to know right now, versus just whatever lessons come up in whatever order they come up. If you are planning on living in Costa Rica for any length of time, I do, like I said, recommend learning Spanish. Now, I did say it really depends on where you're at. We are in a high expat concentration, high tourist area. If you choose a place more inland, more rural, you definitely will need to learn Spanish. It's just a must to be able to get around, to be able to take care of the things you need to do. Banking, dealing with attorneys, contract negotiations, dealing with trying to fix your car should it break down on the side of the road. All those types of things, you're really going to need to learn Spanish. Now, there are applications on the phones and on our devices nowadays, such as Google Translate or Babelfish. There's several of them out there that you can use to try to translate, but those don't usually work real well in remote areas because most of them require an internet connection. Some of them you can download an offline version, and that works okay, but there are still a lot of limitations there, and they aren't customized very well to the area, to the region, and so you may sound like you're coming from a different country, similar to people in the United States when they talk to someone from, say, Scotland, and it's very difficult to understand what they're saying if they have a heavy accent and so forth. So the words we choose sometimes are different based off of the region, things along those lines. So that's where the limitations of those translate software really come into play. And I would hesitate to rely on those too heavily as a crutch. So those are my tips for you. That's my commentary on whether or not you need to learn Spanish. Bottom line, learn what you can as soon as you can, preferably before you come, at least while you're here. But if you're in a high tourist or expat area, you can probably get by without it. Leave us a comment, give us a like, leave us a comment, let us know what you're using to learn Spanish, or if you've started, how it's coming along, what struggles you've had. Make sure you share with a friend who might be able to benefit from the information, and give us a follow so you can get all of our great videos coming up next. We'll see you in the next video.